begun this Clone War has.
I remember not being excited for this one. And I saw it in theaters, and I remember being like, it's okay. I'm like, all right, I guess it was Star Wars. That's kind of not where I saw it going. The Stormtrooper thing confused me. One, because they were all clones, which I thought was stupid, and they were all Boba Fett, which I thought was stupid, and Boba Fett's dad was Boba Fett. And then this is where Lucas made the jump from 35 millimeter to digital. And it's not very good. It is like it's shot on a digital camera, which isn't great. And then he went like full. I remember being in the theater, seeing like the full on CGI sets and like being very aware that they were CGI. And now Yoda is CGI because in Phantom Menace, the theatrical release and the VHS, he's a puppet.
I wanted to bring that up. That's horrendous. That was scary. I'm glad they changed it for CGI.
It was a bad puppet. I will grant you that it was a bad puppet.
Yeah.
But it was still a puppet. And then they changed it to CGI afterwards. But I remember seeing CGI Yoda for the first time. What was your reaction to that?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. Yeah. But I did in the years following, I was like, I grew to like a lot of the movie. There are some really fun moments, and I like the chase. So this is an example. I like the chase through Coruscant.
With Zamwasel?
Yes, but the setup for the chase is fucking stupid. So someone hired Jango Fett to kill Amidala. And then he hired, what's the name?
Zam,
who then hired space slugs. No, who hired a robot to put the space slugs in her room. Like, what is this multi-tiered assassination? And then Jango Fett is apparently monitoring this whole situation to kill Sam at the end. It's like, why didn't you just shoot her?
If Anakin had been like 2 inches closer to Padme when he swiped to like kill the little slugs.
Yeah, okay, that's another thing. So there was a lot, and again, I know you don't have to tell me, everyone's pointing this out. The original trilogy had a lot of restraint with the lightsabers because it was a hard effect to do, or it was very time-consuming effect. Now it got really easy, and he found an excuse to use it every single time. They're Jedi; they could have just pushed the bugs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, couldn't he just like force pull and throw to the side?
Force squeeze,
force squeeze them, force throw them, force kick, like Luke's force kick.
Yeah, that's good. Yes.
The only thing I like about this movie is literally from the arena on. That's it.
Okay, yeah, and then there's the whole mystery of the clones. Who's making the clones? And apparently, it was supposed to be Sidious called in the clones. But then I read that Lucas mistyped it to Sifo-Dyas. And then he's like, I like that name. So now we're going to have this entire backstory of a character that we have never met and will never see. Like, this doesn't feel like it's a sequel to Phantom Menace. Especially since it's like years later. Yeah. It feels like this is a sequel to a different movie.
Annie, you're all grown up.
Oh, God. Yeah. No, I'm getting to that. So then they added the whole
much bigger as well.
They had in the whole Sifo-Dyas thing, and then Dooku is a Count Dooku,
Lord Tyrannus,
and they call him Count because he played Count Dracula a bunch of times. He's talking about how Sifo-Dyas made a clone army, and that Sidious is a person. And to this day, I'm still confused about the specifics about a lot of this.
From what I understand, it's like someone ordered a drink at Starbucks for you.
Yeah.
But you didn't order the drink, and so you take it anyway.
Okay.
That's how it is. That's literally how it goes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that they added in this film was more Senate scenes. Because this is all about Palpatine starting a conflict to become Supreme Chancellor. Well, he's Supreme Chancellor, but he wants to be Emperor. That's like his goal.
Wasn't like Padme like going to Coruscant to like vote to make him?
Yeah, she's like, now a senator now because you elect queens on Naboo, and she's a senator. And then now we have the love story.
I'm a senator, but I'm a senator.
Yeah, what was that? Are senators not allowed to? Because Organa's got a wife. I assume all these other senators have like wives. And
also, why would you put the emotionally unadjusted kid?
Yeah,
that's like been like repressed his entire life.
Yeah.
With this senator and go protect her and on this beautiful planet where it might be really romantic and you might talk about communism in the future. Like that's really, really weird.
Yeah, that was a little bizarre. He's for a dictatorship. Yeah. It gave us a really great meme. Yeah, that is funny. It's like, oh, wow. He talks about her all the time and he had a crush on her.
Let's send them together.
And by the way, she's like smoking hot now because now she's of age. And we're allowed to dress her way sexier. So yeah, let's put him with her. It's like, what the fuck did you idiots think was going to happen? And then they're only, she's not dating anyone. Now the Jedi aren't allowed to have like being love with people or have relationships. It's like, what the fuck? Why are you guys making them so weird?
And then we find out that like every Jedi had like a secret thing on the DL. They were like,
yeah, they started adding that.
Yoda and Yaddle, I see you making baby Yoda. Come on, we know where that came from. Don't try and hide.
Oh God, Yaddle! I forgot about Yaddle. She disappears in between movies. Yeah, the love scene is just so fucking annoying.
The music's so good though.
The music's good.
It is
It's John
beautiful.
Williams.
It's so good. But then I'm like remembering what scene I'm watching, and I'm like, oh.
There's literally the scene
Truly,
where she's like, Anakin, we can't date, and she's wearing
love you.
she's wearing like a fucking corset, like a push-up corset, and it's like,
Didn't her one dress, it was like open and stuff? I'm
Yeah.
just like, girl.
and it's like,
Girl.
He's like, I'm tortured by the kiss you should have never given me.
and it's like, okay, Padme.
He's like touching her
Padme,
arm.
I don't want to say like don't dress like that because that's very problematic. But like if you know this guy is into you, maybe don't hang out with him alone while wearing a push-up corset. Like you're like maybe don't hang out with him alone.
Yeah.
You have servants. Just always be in the room with someone. Just don't hang out with him. He's just there as security. Like if he's trying to make out with you, say, hey, can you like walk the perimeter or something? Like you're not
Go
doing
guard
your
the
job.
door.
Go do a lap, yeah. Go
Yeah.
pod race or something.
Instead, he's like, I had a dream about my mom. We got to go to Tatooine. She's like, well, that's kind of like the worst possible thing I should be doing right now.
She's like, are you good, dude? Yeah, she's like, are you good?
So then we get the Tatooine subplot, which is awful.
And we meet the Lars family.
So that's not Anakin's brother. That really pissed me off. I was like,
Anakin's brother, the other chosen one.
I assumed that they were brothers when I was a kid. Maybe they have different last names. I don't know. Maybe Skywalker was a name he chose for himself. That's how you could interpret it when you're a kid.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, so then he saves his mom from the Sand People
Well,
who
saves
were torturing her.
for whatever reason.
But Disney is now telling you that they're really cool guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was probably just super offensive.
I think we talked about that in our Book of Boba Fett review.
Yeah.
They're gonna eventually have to circle around to that and make her look like the bad guy. But yeah, you're right. The arena scene is like one of the only fun parts. And then they get lightsabers and it's ruined. And then all the Jedi show up with all the clones. And it's
Mace
just-
motherfucking Windu with his purple lightsaber standing out right in the middle there.
Then why don't they all have unique colors?
Because he's Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
That's why.
literally.
But like, it was,
that's literally it.
That's
but it's
literally
just
why.
like, okay, Darth Vader's a bad guy. He's made his lightsaber red. And then the other one was blue. And then, Luke made a green one. I guess you can make multiple colors.
Because
But again, since they're so focused on the original trilogy, they're like, nope, everyone's got to have red and green. You can have purple. Everyone's got to have red and green. It's like,
Now
why?
there's yellow, there's white.
yeah, apparently orange is like super weak.
Oh, now there's, oh my God.
Yeah, because blue is strong with combat, green is strong with the Force, red is just, you're evil, I guess.
That's another thing. Like the Force feels less special in these films.
yeah.
It starts to feel like a video game.
To be fair, like they were turned into an army, so they're like trying to figure out how to weaponize everything that they were
Yeah.
being super spiritual
I
about.
guess.
So
But yeah, the arena scene was a lot of fun until that happens.
I like all the creatures, like they're kind of fun.
Yeah, the creatures
Yeah.
are fun. And then
I like the cat thingy that scratches Padme. I really like that design.
Yeah, yeah. And Padme's like really
Why'd you
awesome
give me
in
that
this
face?
scene.
Like-
that's a good scene. I like that scene.
Sir.
So what did you think of Yoda fighting?
Dude, as a kid, I loved it.
I think
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
I
I
like-
lost my shit.
He
I
was
liked
jumping
it
like,
too. I thought it was hilarious and I really liked it. And then as I get older and watch the other one, I'm like, oh yeah, he shouldn't have done that. That was kind of stupid.
Also, the scene where like that piece of whatever pole
yeah,
thing,
the
whatever the hell it
pillars,
is,
yeah.
and he's like trying to be like, oh, I can't hold it. It's like, fuck them, just go after it. Like,
Yeah.
It's kind of silly, but it's funny though. Like apparently in the original edit, they were going to just have Yoda come in and start throwing hands, like pull his lightsaber out immediately and go like, "Let's go." But then they were
God.
like, "We need to tone Yoda back," so it could have been worse. They like added scenes where he's like, "Oh," they try to use the Force a little bit.
I don't like that Dooku has the lightning because now it's just like
yeah.
you've achieved lightning ability.
but now you're a bad guy now, and we know you're a bad guy,
Yeah.
right?
But then it's just like, you think about it, it's like, so why are the separatists trying to separate?
Because the Republic sucks.
But the Republic does kind of suck. That's the
Kinda.
thing. So that's why I'm just like,
And they explore that in the Clone Wars a lot. Like
They do,
Dooku even makes like a valid appeal to Obi-Wan, being like, "Yo, these guys gotta suck, dude. That's why I split."
You're not really
So-
on the right side. The Clone Wars did a good job of making this bullshit kind of make sense, but it would have been nice if this bullshit made sense.
Fair.
Like, imagine how much better the Clone Wars show would be if the two things bookending it wasn't terrible. R2-D2 flies.
Love it. And he pees oil.
Jar Jar is demoted, but he's demoted as a character, but then he's given more importance in the Senate, and he's kind of responsible for Palpatine getting emergency powers. And the Senate is moved by Jar Jar's speech. And the 50s diner. Anyway, let's move on to Revenge of the Sith.
Fucking Jar Jar in that scene where he like says his little speech and everybody's like clapping and he's just like, yeah, I did it.
Dello Feligits.
Dello Feligits.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.